What's up, everybody? It's December 31st, 2019. I think I got that right. Um, Last night I was thinking about it and I, for some reason, went back to 1999 instead of 2019. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, that means it's time for me to do like a recap of 2019 and everything that's gone on in my life over this last year, which some of you have noticed has been pretty quiet. I didn't do a lot of hiking this year. I didn't do much adventuring this year. Uh, so yeah, it's been a pretty uneventful year. And as I've been thinking about it, um, I was like, wow, it's been a pretty uneventful year. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, actually a lot did happen, surprisingly. So whatever comes out of my mouth will be just as big of a surprise for me as it is for you. Some stuff I'm sure some of you already know about, but so let's get the year started. The first part of this year has been dealing with Riley. For those of you that don't know, Riley is my little 20-pound Chihuahua pug mixed dog. But most of you already know that. Some of you are new to my life and don't know everything, which I've been keeping a lot of stuff private lately. So a lot of you don't know anything. It's really staticky today. Oh, so dry. So anyway, the year started off with Riley having a severe case of dry eye, which meant a trip to the vet and a trip to the specialist, which is an eye vet for dogs, basically. Um, so it's been a costly year with dealing with all of her stuff. So starting off with her eyes, it was so bad. Her right eye wasn't producing any tears whatsoever, so it was all completely dried up. Um, and that was coming out through her nose, and she had like nasty, crusty clumps of shit stuck in her nose. So I would have to like try and dig that out, and it was painful for her. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, Riley. Like, she's like eating my hands as I'm trying to get it out because she's mad at me. So there was that. I know that was gross, but you know me, I'm open and honest, and I tell it like it is, and it was really gross. And that's how it is. After that, pretty much within a couple of weeks after that, she had surgery. She'd had this little lumpy thing on her one of her hind legs that she'd had for like 8 or 9 months, and I just kept watching it. I'll watch it, whatever. Uh, that I went to work in the morning, and it was still the size of a pinhead. By the time I got home from work later that night, it was about the size of a quarter to a half dollar. So it like blew up. I was like, oh shit. Like, what the hell happened? This thing just went from nothing to something. So called the vet. They're like, get her in as soon as possible, take her in. They're like, we think it's a mast cell tumor. And for those of you, which is probably everybody, except for a few of you who don't know, mast cell tumor is a form of cancer. So Riley had cancer this year. And I'm freaking out going, I don't make a shit ton of money. Taking care of cancer is going to cost me, but for Riley, I will do whatever it takes. And I'm like, I will go broke. I will live on the streets, whatever it takes to make her better. Fortunately, that didn't cost me an arm and a leg like I thought it was going to cost me. We took care of it. They removed it. They got it. It was verified that it was mast cell tumor. But it was a low grade, so remove it, be done. After that, still dealing with the eyes. Her eyes now, going into the new year, are actually really producing a lot of tears. So, yay! Thank you. Good job, Riley. And then over the summer, starting back in June, she started having seizures. So this has been kind of a rough year with regards to her and dealing with all of the health issues that she's been having. Yeah, so she started with seizures in June. Thank goodness they were just focal seizures. So hers were her chest between her shoulders, and that was it. It would just contract, twitch, whatever you want to call it. She's been on medication for seizures since then. She was averaging 3 seizures a day that lasted an average of 1 to 1.5 hours each time. So she was having seizures for 3 to 5 hours every day. We finally got them under control. She's been good ever since we moved into the new place since August. She hasn't had one that I'm aware of, but when she has them, I know because she gets really clingy. She gets really lethargic, doesn't can't really walk, can't really do anything. She just wants to lay in my lap, which of course I'm like, ooh, cuddles, yay. Because she doesn't like cuddling that much. So that was her and dealing with her. So that's a lot of why I didn't go on a lot of adventures this year, because dealing with a lot of her health issues, I couldn't go hiking. Hiking I usually do in the summertime. We went like 3 or 4 times before the seizures started. And that's about it with Riley and with the adventures. Like I said, hiking, I just didn't, the weather, it was super hot this year. And going into the mountains and hiking, I'm closer to the sun, even though it's cooler in the mountains. It's definitely a lot hotter when that sun's beating on you, and there's not a whole lot of trails that have much coverage. So between me not wanting to sweat my ass off and climb, and at times I have a 20-pound dog on my back because she gets tired, and throw her in the backpack and take her on a walk. And then when she started with the seizures in June, I mean, there wasn't much I could do. I didn't want to push her and take her and have her uncomfortable and start having a seizure in the middle of a hike and, out in the middle of nowhere. The few hikes we did go on were pretty cool. We did Devil's Head Lookout, which is easy hike, really easy hike. It's a couple miles, so that's like one of those hikes that people that aren't used to the altitude and come from sea level, all you sea monsters come out and take you up there. It's a beautiful hike, great views. It's easy, it's pretty flat most of the way. And then you climb up the stairs. Once they open it back up, they actually close the tower, so it's a working fire lookout tower. Still works. They still have people man it, and it really, really, really amazing views up there. We did Mount Evans, which is mainly a drive. It's just a really long drive, like really long. We did that one, and it's like, you get to the top and you're pretty much at the top, unless you go up a little bit, climb up, like it takes like 5-10 minutes to climb. It's nothing. You get up there and you got a 360-degree view of mountains, and it's beautiful. So another great place to go. Our first hike of the season was one that's considered a black diamond hike. Didn't know that until after, and I was like, what the fuck? This is killing me. This is the first hike. Like, I do these hikes like towards the middle of the season and everything, and we're doing it on the first one. Yes. Yeah, we slid down the side of the mountain on that one. That was coming back down. We made it up to the top, and I felt the burn on that one. I definitely felt the burn on that one. We were coming back down, and dogs are supposed to have that innate instinct of where to go. Like, they follow the scent, they know where you're supposed to go. Yeah, I don't. My dog is broken. She's broken. My sniffer's broken. My guide dog is broken. She didn't know where to go, and she decided to the path that was kind of like, it looked like a path, but the real path was like the rocks, and you follow the rocks around. So we took this other path, which was all loose stuff. It was loose dirt, loose, old pine needles from the trees, and all just loose crap. And we go down that, and we didn't really walk down it. We took a couple steps and slid the rest of the way. We were down from the main trail about, I don't know, about 50 yards. Yeah, we were down quite a ways. So I was able to stop myself. She just kept going, and I was finally able to like just sit down and like put my feet up and just kind of slide to a stop. And she's in front of me, and a rock almost hit her, and I'm like, Riley, move! You're gonna die. It wasn't that big of a rock, but it's still, I'm on the side of a mountain sliding down, so everything's freaking me out. So I get her turned around, and we start heading back up, and I'm like, Riley, you just need to run, like, just run. So I'm running behind her going, run, 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 run. So she's running, I'm running, and everything's just falling as we're going. I'm like, this is like a treadmill. Like, we're running hard, and we're trying to get up, and we finally did get back up, and people were coming down. They're like, which way? And I'm like, do not go down that way. That's not the path. Like, the path is this way. Follow the rocks. Just go. That's not the path. You'll slide down to your death. Thank goodness I did not, but I'm still alive. I'm still here to entertain you all. So yeah, not a lot of hiking this year, just because I haven't had the time to do it. Well, I've had the time. I mean, I'm off in the summers, but I didn't have the money. I didn't have drive really. It's been like I said, it's been a quiet year for me, and then with everything happening with Riley, so it's been kind of a tough year dealing with her and getting her healthy. Um, it's been a year for me of I spent the last 2 years, 2017, 2018 were my go 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 years. This year was the no 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 years year of don't go do anything, just kind of chill, recenter, rebalance, just stay with yourself. So I've spent a lot of time at home, just sitting in the dark, sitting in the quiet, just being, just chilling out, just rebooting my system and allowing myself to just not go 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 and just kind of sit literally sit. um and work is good. I did do some I went kayaking, which was really good. It's peaceful when you go. You don't have to go with anybody. You can go alone. So it was something I was able to do by myself. I took the lesson just to make sure that I know what I'm doing, because this is me we're talking about. Need I say more? This is me we're talking about, and you all know how I am, and anything can happen. Every day is an adventure with me, even when I'm sitting at home. I'm yeah. I mean, I ran into the freaking coffee table and moved it. I didn't even think I hit it that hard. I was just walking, and bam, right into it. And I was like, oh, that I lifted the table with my leg. Yay, awesome. That's gonna leave a mark. Yeah, I had a bruise like that big. It was huge. It's like, oh, yeah, you can see right where the corner went into my thigh. Um, yeah, that's how short I am. Yeah, I'm super short. I'm so short that the corner of the coffee table went into my thigh, not my knee, not my shin, my upper thigh. I'm shorty. Hey, right. So what else? So yeah, I did the kayaking thing, and so I took the lesson, which was easy. Kayaking's easy, nothing to freak out about with that. Um, I went by myself, and I took Riley, who's over that way under the table. Um, and she, I'm pretty sure she was having a seizure while I'm in the boat, while I'm in the kayak, and there was nothing I could do. And I felt bad. I was like, Riley, you got to just calm down. Like, she was fine for the first hour, 2 hour, and however long we were out there. We were out there for a couple hours, and she was fine for a little while. And then all of a sudden, she just started freaking out on me after I took her out. We parked on the beach for a few minutes, and I let her go potty and play in the water and everything. Got her back in the kayak. Within a few minutes, she's freaking out, whining, crying, wouldn't lay down. But for the first part of it, she was just chilling out. She was like in my lap. She was just laying there. So I think she might like it, and we may go again, do some kayaking again this year. Since she seems to like it, and it's easy, and it's quiet, and it's peaceful, and I don't need to go with anybody. So, but if anybody wants to go, come join me. I'm always, welcoming people to join me on my little adventures. Even going to the grocery store is an adventure with me. So, everybody that knows me knows that. Like I said, every day is an adventure as long as I'm around. What else? Oh, did some whitewater rafting. That was fun. It was, busted my thumb. Don't know how, but I busted up my thumb. It still every once in a while hurts, depending on what I do. Yes, I know some of you were like, go to the doctor, get it checked out. And I'm like, no, I'll be fine. Yeah, months later, I'm still like, it's a little sore. I still don't know how it happened. All I know is our raft collided with another one, and my thumb got pinned between something. I don't even know what. I felt it. It hurt. And I was like, oh, I can't really move my thumb. That hurts really bad. Drove home. I was like, oh, okay, it's better. A couple days later, I'm like, ooh, it's still like I touched it, and it not so good. But yeah, leave it to me. Like I said, every day is an adventure with me. You never know what's gonna happen, and I don't drown, but I busted my thumb up. Go figure. Earlier in the year, I was snowboarding last winter. Learned how to snowboard. Went snowboarding by myself the last time, and gave myself whiplash. Can't take me anywhere. What can I say? Yeah, whiplash. I still every once in a while feel the effects of that. So my recommendation: don't get whiplash. What else is going on? I moved. I moved out of the first apartment that I moved into when I moved out here a couple of years ago. Moved from there to one a little bit closer to Denver, which is I'm about 3 miles, I think, closer to Denver. Not a big deal. I'm not that far anyway. I'm like a 10-minute drive to the city limits, so I'm pretty close anyway. But it's quiet here. It's really quiet, really peaceful, and I really enjoy my apartment. The only down part is I'm on the third floor, so I'm like up, like 40 stairs, a couple flights of stairs to have to go up, but so when I do grocery shopping, I go a little at a time so I don't have to carry a whole lot of weight up the stairs because I'm not going to make 5 trips up and down these stairs. That's not going to happen. But I've got the fireplace. I've got a great view, as you can see behind me, if you really can't see because it's all whited out here. Let me move out of the way a little bit. Now you can see. There you go. Not really, can't really see much out there, but I've got a good view. It's quiet out there. It's like being like being in the woods out there. I get some of the best sunsets that I can see from here. As some of you have noticed, I've posted quite a few of the photos online of some of the views I have from here. There's a lake right here. There's actually 2 or 3 lakes right here. There's a big one that way, and then right behind me is a smaller one, and then that way there's another small one. So, and this one and the other one are connected. This one and the far one are not connected. There's a little bridge that you can go across to that you go between the two. You know what I'm saying, right? So yeah, moving here. I moved here in August, first part of August, just before school started back. And it wasn't moving ready, so I had to move all my furniture around so that they could put in new flooring because the flooring was awful. So, but they did me right, and I like it here. I actually love it here. I'll probably stay here for quite a while, just because I do like it. It's a little bit bigger than where I was at before. I've got more storage space, which is what I need because I don't have a lot of stuff because I'm not somebody that likes having a lot of stuff. I'd rather go out and spend my money on adventures and making memories than collecting a bunch of shit. So yeah, it's been a great place so far. Like I said, I've got the fireplace, which I've got going right now. It's gonna be a cooler day. It's still gonna be in the 40s, but yeah, the weather here has been really weird, but yeah, it's gonna be in the 40s today. No snow. We still have some snow left over from the last storm we got, but anyway, what else this year? Oh, I kind of changed jobs. I was doing the campus safety officer for DPS the beginning of this school year, but a couple months in, I didn't like the way the pay was going, and I ended up getting a job as an ASO, which is an administration safety officer, which is basically it's a glorified secretary position, and I wasn't prepared for that. And that's not me. That's not what I like to do. As some of you know, one of my big things is I want to change the world in some way, some form. And the one way to do it is just making an impact in one person's life. You make an impact in one person's life and you've changed the world. Or at least that's how I view it. And so working with the kids, I had that opportunity every single day. Every single day I had the opportunity to change the world by making an impact in these kids' lives. And now I don't. Because I changed jobs to the administration, which is at the administration building, which has all of the district, it's basically the district headquarters. But in there are schools. There's a technical college, a high school, and an elementary school. The elementary school is actually really cool. It's like a discovery type school where they don't always, yeah, anyway, who cares? I'm rambling now, obviously. Like I said, surprising to me too what's coming out of my mouth. So I started doing that, and the first day I was there, I was like, fuck this, I'm not staying. I'm not doing this. All right, I'm like, I'm out, see ya. I ended up getting sick the second day, and third day I was sick, so I didn't even go in. I was there for one day and was like, I'm done. My body's like, oh, you're done. We're getting sick today. Went back in. I've been there since the end of October. But last month I talked to the lieutenant and the commander, the lieutenant for the CSOs and the commander, our commander, and they want me back as a CSO. So I go back as an ASO for 2 days, maybe 3. I don't know if I have to work on Saturday, this coming Saturday or not, but we're there this Thursday and Friday for sure. And then next Monday I start back in as a CSO and back in the schools, and I'm going to be back at the school I was at the beginning of this school year, which was a different school than what I was at last year. So I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be good for me. I've got some big plans coming up. I've got some big stuff coming up this next year in 2020. So stay tuned for that. So I'm having to kind of readjust some of the things in my life and rebalance and kind of find out where these things are gonna take me and how I'm supposed to and how I'm gonna get there. And had I not taken the ASO position, I wouldn't have found the opportunity that I've been presented with, which is some people know about what's going on, but like I said, I've become more private and kept a lot of stuff in with just me so that I know what's going on, but nobody else knows because nobody else needs to know. You'll know soon enough. A few months down the road, I'm sure I'll post something about it. But yeah, so it's a change in direction in my life in a way. I've given up on the police thing, which also includes I'm not going to be volunteering with the police department anymore. Everything that's coming up this next year, I'm just not going to have the time for it. I've got to dedicate my time to my full-time job, my part-time job, and which I still have the part-time job with the Broncos. I'm actually working on a cold right now from Sunday's game because it was so cold, even though I was inside and down in the bowels of the stadium and everything. Every time when I was working at the visiting team locker room and I would open that door up, man, it was like a sauna in there. It felt so good. I was like, yes, it's warm. And then the door closed. I'm like, no, let's leave that door open. Let's get some air circulation going, some of that heat. So I think I'm kind of started developing a cold from being in the cold for 8 hours. So yeah, working on it, but it's not too bad. It's tolerable. It's just in the mornings when I wake up, everything's draining. And as another thing, by the way, I've had a cough since September that just kind of lingered. I've been to the doctor so many freaking times this year. Between Riley and I, we're at the doctor all the time. That we live there. No, but for one of the things that's coming up this next year, I had to go and get vaccinated and do some of that stuff. Plus, I had to go, and then a couple weeks later, I get all that stuff done. A week later, I had to go back because I had to get my thyroid medication. So I'm like, great. You guys are gonna know me pretty well pretty soon. Yeah. So this next year's there's some big things coming up. There's gonna be some adventures going on, or at least I hope so. I'm planning for it. Possibly, fingers crossed, a couple of trips coming up. So stay tuned for all of these big adventures that are coming up. 2019 has been quiet, like I said. It's been fun though. I did the Frozen Dead Guy Days earlier this year, the Ice Castles earlier this year. Just random things to just get me out of the house, because sometimes it's good to get out too. I'm starting to get back into that, ready to go. I'm ready to get things picking up again, and things are going to start picking up again. Like I said, I'm back in the schools, which is going to give me a little bit more freedom than what I'm doing now with the ASO position. But the ASO position has led me down a path that I wasn't really expecting. And had I not taken this job, I wouldn't even be considering this. I wouldn't probably have even come across the opportunity that I've come across. So yeah, it's gonna be a great opportunity for me, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm not one that's trying to control where my life goes. I'm like, life, guide me. You take me wherever I'm supposed to go. Take me there, and we'll see what happens. I'm that person that when something comes along, I'm like, hey, let's try that and see how that goes. You don't know until you try it. You don't know until you get into it, which is what happened with the ASO position. Is I didn't realize how bad this was going to be for me until it happened, and now I'm like, we'll put the brakes on that. Let's go back and go back into the schools. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't have any plans for tonight. I was supposed to have game night tonight at my place, but everybody's sick and nobody wants to get out in the cold and nobody wants to do anything. So I'm like, that's fine. I'll just turn the fireplace on, snuggle up with Rye, probably do some Netflix or something. Who knows? But I know a lot of you have been wanting a lot of my, more photos and stories and writing and all that stuff. And I know this year I haven't been there's not been a whole lot of photos out there because I haven't been doing much. When I do stuff, I post it for you guys. I know you guys miss that stuff. And you miss me. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, look at me. Look at this. I mean, everybody loves me. No, they love me till they hate me is what it is. I'm all right with that. Hey, what do they say? If people aren't hating you, then you're doing something wrong. People hate me, whatever. Let them go. Anyway, yeah, so where was I? I don't even know where I was at with that train of thought. I have no idea. I lost it. It just went away. I've been rambling for almost a half hour now, and I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to me. So I'm gonna go. My writings, I finally started doing some writing at the end of this year. I found an inspiration that's kind of got me back into that creative mindset. I've got stories to tell, got things to say, opinions, viewpoints, all that stuff. I've got a story that I'm really thinking would be a great TV show, so who knows where that'll lead. Anyway, I hope you all have a great New Year's. I hope next year treats you all well, and don't get too drunk. Don't go out and get drunk and start stripping off and not remember what you did. It's better to remember what you did, and at least if you're gonna strip down, at least remember what you did and remember the compliments that you got, because I mean, what's the point if you're not gonna remember any of it? Anyway, have fun, be safe, see you next year. Bye.